Hey Wanderers, and welcome back to Outlaws Wanted. Last time, the crew of the Honor continued their search on Core Forged Home. Jila challenged Marilla to a deadly game for her services as a smuggler. Hopefully, Jila's hastily crafted power armor is enough to withstand a pitchfork thrown by a deadly pirate. All of you are in this kind of sketchy pitchfork throwing bar as Marilla just cleared the field to start another match with Jila. What is everyone doing?
I would like to be channeling my space magic powers to help Jila hyper focus on what's going on.
Okay. Roll to aid a friend.
Ooh, that is not great. Oh, I get to add my weird though. That is really good. That will be a 9.
Oh, okay, cool. So helping a friend is dangerous, so you'll suffer the consequences of this as well, which is to say you're taking this damage.
Okay.
That's what it means. You are weirdly connected to...
Hey, wait, we have camaraderie.
This gained camaraderie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but we have a camaraderie already. We had one left over from before that we never used.
Right, so I guess if you spend a camaraderie, what this will do is gain you a camaraderie.
I thought 10 plus gains me 2.
Yes, but then that means he gets a 10.
10 plus does gain you 2. You're right. What is everyone else doing?
So I'm going to... Mal is going to think back to when he saw Marilla's previous bout and try to reason through her tactics to try to find some kind of sign that Jila can use.
All right, make an investigation check.
That is... Where is that? Is it sharp? Okay, that's a 10.
Okay, so Marilla's armor is very custom. It has clearly been built out of pieces by her, and as such has a lot more flair than most other people's armor on this place. It's still very much rust colored and piecemeal, but you can tell that she's put a lot of care into making it. And one of the things is her throwing arm has a charge indicator. It's really faint, but you can actually see certain lights lighting up on her arm, little indicating lights that tell you right about when she's about to throw. So it gives you a second of notice before someone's about to huck a spear or huck a pitchfork.
Okay. I relayed that to Jila. What is that mechanically going to give?
Forewarning at +1.
Quick question for my helping Jila. Am I attached to her for the entire fight or no, or just the first round?
I'm going to say when she uses the camaraderie.
Okay.
If she does.
That's fair. I just if it's the entire fight, that seems a little steep.
Yeah.
And I would not have done it.
So Vi is gonna pull out her drill and make some modifications to Jila's throwing armor.
All right, roll plus smarts.
Give it a little punch. That's a 7.
Okay, so basically you have a choice of, do you want your arm to do... okay, so here's the trick. Do you want to keep this throwing arm, or do you want this throwing arm to do more damage? So beyond this fight, you kind of built this thing out of junkyard parts. So you can overcharge it to throw harder and you will do more damage and pop, but it'll eventually break. Or it can be that Vika, you were able to stabilize and fix some already breaking components, and now it's permanently you'll have this throwing arm attachment you can use. So it's permanence versus temporary gain.
Gosh, I didn't even think about the fact that I could keep it.
I would say do the extra damage because you have other cool weapons already.
I do. I've never been a weapons collector in anything.
But imagine throwing your particle magnetism weapon.
Yeah,
Captain Malcolm Llewellyn, you do not throw particle magnetism weapons.
But she could.
No, that is strictly prohibited by Tenet 4621 of the Keeper's Order.
I'm pretty sure her owning one is also against some tenet, so...
Oh, basically all of them, yes, but we're ignoring that one because...
then we can ignore this one.
No, that's not how it works. Camilla made her a keeper in training, so it is all right. But she can't ignore the tenets if she's a keeper in training. She needs to start following those tenets. It's very important.
Okay, fine. This isn't important anyway.
Yeah, I'll take the extra damage just because it seems impractical in the long run.
Okay.
To have a huge giant arm, even though I want a huge giant arm.
I'm excited for Caitlin to weapon collect and have to inventory manage in a game that was specifically designed not to do that.
You guys can, like, I'm kind of fine with you guys having, like, a collection of random junk that you guys use. Like, it's fine with me if you want to keep stuff. It's not going to hurt my feelings, so it's an option.
I mean, you are notorious for giving us crazy overpowered weapons that break after a short time.
Yeah, so I do sometimes give temporary items. In this case, I was giving myself that out, but also, like, in this system, I am fine with you guys having lots of items because you can't really stack them together to gain extra effect, so it's more okay. Anyways, okay, so you do extra damage. You have forewarning of her attacks. Does anyone else want to do anything before Jila gets in the ring?
That's pretty good.
Sully hands Jila his canteen again in case she wants another drink.
Is it more water?
It's definitely water.
Definitely more water. Kiss for luck.
He kisses her.
All right, now I'm good to go.
How sweet. Now why don't you get in the ring and we'll see how good that armor you threw together really is.
All right, so I think Jila squares up and throws.
All right.
That is a 7.
Okay, and I'll give you a bonus 1 for that forewarning because you see her attack coming, which means you can kind of like know when is a good moment to throw. So we'll make that an 8. Are you spending camaraderie at this point?
No, because it won't get me far enough.
No, you could. We have 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so you spend 2 camaraderie, which bumps you up to a 10. So you can feel Sully, like, guiding your mind to, like, be calm despite the fact that, like, you know there's about to be a pitchfork heading for your face, and you're able to, like, preemptively duck and also perfectly aim your pitchfork back at Marilla. It sails through the air, and you can feel your arm throw with, like, an extra oomph as the pitchfork smashes in and already cracks and fractures her armor. She stumbles back and smiles, impressed by your throw. All right, roll your next attack. That was 1 round you survived.
So, can I, if I want to pinpoint a weak point, can I, like, throw my pitchfork, but with the understanding that I wouldn't be doing any damage? And, like, use my turn instead?
I would say you can just pinpoint a weak point without burning a turn on it.
Okay.
I'll just say you can only use that once.
Yeah, okay. That is a 13.
Okay. So you can see, like,
I still have the +1 for my arm.
Yeah, you would still have the +1 for your arm normally. What I'm gonna say, this doesn't necessarily give you a bonus to your roll, but if you hit on your next attack, basically what you found is, like, there's a wire connecting 2 pieces of her armor that is guarded but more vulnerable. Like, you think you could hook it with the, like, tine of the pitchfork as it sails past.
Okay.
And weaken her arm quite a bit.
Okay. Yeah, so the way that works is I find a structural weak point and gain +1 to rolls that use this information.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of mechanically reasoning this a little bit differently. But yeah, so you found a weak point, hitting it will have a status effect.
Oh, I see. Okay. So do I take damage that round then from her?
No, that roll was your find a weak point. Do you have to roll for that?
He said that doesn't count as a roll, like your turn. Like you do this like while
Right,
throwing.
but what's her...
But then now you roll for the throw.
Oh, okay. Just keep rolling them dice. Okay. That is a 7.
Okay, so this time you make a good attack, and you can see that your pitchfork, like, as you threw it, you're like, okay, yeah, I did good. This was fine. It cut that wire loose. And right as you're thinking that, you feel like a truck hits your chest as her pitchfork smashes into your armor. Like, you feel the armor break, and then you feel the spear, like, hitting your flesh. You're not, like, hurt yet, but you've taken 2 damage from that throw.
Spacing! Ah!
Stings a little when you finally get hit.
Yeah, just touch.
You're okay, Jila. Keep it up. Walk it off.
All right, you've survived 2 rounds.
All right, I am going to, on this round, I am going to use my smoke bomb with the intent of obscuring myself so that she doesn't hit me again.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. I like that.
That is an 11.
Yay!
Okay, so I'll say the way this works is you throw your spear still overpowered. It smashes into her again, and right as she's about to throw, you like drop a smoke bomb, creating a puff of smoke, and she throws wildly into it, but it just goes like you feel it fly past your head as she's completely missed as a result of the smoke cloud. All right, one more round, and you've survived long enough to remove her crew from your ship.
I mean, a couple more runs, and I think you win.
That's an 11 again.
Okay, so we'll say like the smoke's clearing, and before she could even pick up the spear, you throw another one at her, and like
Just chuck it really fast. Yeah.
it like knocks into her, and she staggers to a knee and goes,
Well, I think I've had enough for right now. You are quite good at this.
Well, thank you. That means a lot.
Your attitude I find concerning.
Oh, I mean, is it because I'm so chipper about it? Sully says that I shouldn't be so chipper about it, but
Yes.
I have a sunny disposition.
Well, all right. I guess let's get to your ship and head out.
Murder is still bad, Jila Mavek. And by Jila Mavek, I mean Jila. We're in a relationship.
Don't listen to him. Murder can be fun.
I don't know if I would go that far. I'm not usually chipper about. Well, sometimes I have been. Never mind. So I think we head back to our ship. Can Jila take the arm just as a keepsake?
yeah, you can take the arm as a keepsake. You could spend credits at the end of the mission to fix it if you want to like have it.
Can I? This is mostly narrative. Can I see if there's any like imposition specific food or spice or dish that I can barter for to take to Lucy?
I mean, in this place, there's only grog, but you could get another cup of grog and bring it back to him.
Okay. I'm willing to like fix something in trade if I need to, or just
You can kind of just have it. Like you're like really good at this spear game.
Okay.
Like
Somebody
people would be
buys
buying
me
you
a
drinks.
drink.
That
Okay.
yeah, that you can just have.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna put it in my canteen, I guess. I assume they don't have to-go cups.
All right. I mean, any cup is a to-go cup if you just walk out the door with it.
You take Sully's canteen, pour out his water, fill it with it.
No, I'll just combine Jila and Sully's waters.
Jila will be like we kissed now whenever we share water.
Sure will, Sully.
Oh, how horrible for you both.
All of you disgust me, but I guess let's go.
Yeah, so we hike back.
I want to, like, keep watch behind us to make sure we're not followed.
Okay. That is cool.
Yes, I imagine that is an important thing for us to do.
Is that an investigate?
You will get what's going to happen for free, I would say.
Okay.
So could we do a stealth roll at some point to, like... I imagine that, like, stealthily leaving the city isn't going to be super useful, but, like, disappearing... You know, if there's, like, if the city is on a ridge, like, can we stealth so that once we disappear from the ridge, somebody, like, following us or watching us could not immediately see us? Does that make sense?
Yes.
I would like to lose a potential tail, after we leave the city.
You can, yes.
I think
So
we have to roll for that.
that will be a... So all of you make... There's not really a good stealth skill, is there? I guess act under pressure.
I got a 12.
I got a 13.
Good. I got an 8.
7.
Okay. All of you make your way out of the settlement. When Sully, you're looking, and by Sully I mean Malcolm. Dang it, I'll get your name straight eventually. Malcolm, when you're looking behind you, you notice that people are kind of giving you odd looks, but no one really seems to care that you're leaving and just kind of walking out towards the wastelands of this planet that are...
They just assume we're walking to the desert for no reason.
Well, right, and there's like nowhere to go, so it's like whatever, you can go wherever you want. No one really is policing this. So getting back to your ship, there's really no issue. You know, you just make your same kind of long and uncomfortably hot walk across, you know, like lava-y volcanoes back to where you had your ship parked and kind of hidden. And it is still there waiting for you.
Awesome. I guess I disengaged the cloaking device and we get on board.
Oh yeah, I forgot. It was invisible, wasn't it? Because it was cloaked.
Well, that's a rather neat trick. Who set that up?
I mean, we have our ways.
I might want one of those for my ship.
Look, you're getting a ship. That doesn't necessarily include a cloaking device.
Oh, you don't want to give me one?
I didn't say that. I said you're getting what's coming with the whatever ship we get you.
Well, fair point.
All right, so all of you are back on board the ship. What does everyone want to do?
I go talk to Lucy, like, immediately.
And I'm going to talk to Marilla, like, immediately.
I'll go with Sully and give Lucy the grog I got for him.
Okay, we're gonna do conversation with Marilla first.
Ooh, well, this is quite a nice ship.
Yeah, it's served us well. One thing I will note, our chef is a former Imposition soldier, and he was not happy about us coming to this planet.
Oh.
And it would be best if you did not try to enter the kitchen. He would not take too kindly to that.
Oh, that would upset him, wouldn't it?
Yeah, let's not cause him any trouble. I don't want to have to break up any fights on board.
Oh, you would not need to get involved. Don't you worry. Your chef will be alive after I leave.
Well, I mean, let's just not risk it.
Of course. I would not dare put my feet in the kitchen, if you say so.
If this was D&D, I'd be doing an insight check right now, but...
You can do that. You can do read a person.
You can do read a person if you want.
Yeah, that's a 12.
You just like dangled a big juicy steak in front of this person who is so eager to be antagonistic towards like a mainline by the books imposition person. She's like frothing at the mouth to try to antagonize Lucy.
You can take precautions off screen while not talking to her.
That's true. Yeah, I'll just hold on to it for now and just know that she might be trouble.
Sully and Jila, you walk into the kitchen.
Lucy, we are home. Lucy, I'm home. Why have we not done that every time?
That's been a joke sitting there this whole time, and we've missed it, and I'm very disappointed in us.
It is good to see all of you. Would you like some snacks?
That would be lovely.
Also, I brought you this grog. I thought maybe it was like an Imposition specialty, and they didn't have anything else that I thought would make you feel like home, like a special spice or a dish or anything. So I just wanted to bring you something.
Let me just point out again, Caitlin, you just insulted him again by bringing something from this prison planet and saying, here, something from home.
That's all I got. Don't you butt into this cap.
You hand him the cup and he takes a sip and goes, well, that does taste bland and painful, which is very nostalgic. But, might I say, your arm is lovely.
Well, thank you. I had a lot of success with this beauty.
I believe that.
I'm going to have to name her something. I think I'll name her Ellie. This is Ellie.
That seems like a heroic name. So do we have a guest?
Well, I was coming to talk to you about that. We were supposed to have 5 guests, but Jila said, not on my ship. I respect Lucy and everything he stands for, so it's you or no one else. And she fought Marilla in one-on-one combat and came out victorious.
Lucy seems very happy about this. He's smiling ear to ear.
The rest of us were keen to let everyone else on the ship, and Jila put her foot in the ground and said, no, Lucy is my friend. We will make sure that he is as comfortable as possible.
I just realized this is the Klingon model for exaggerating battle tales.
It's also like Sully is lying for like the first time ever.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that, and as long as our guest respects my boundaries and does not set foot in the kitchen, there will be no issues.
At this point, Mal's going to wander into the kitchen and say, yeah, I told her not to come into the kitchen, but she might try to come into the kitchen.
I shall, of course, stop her.
Hopefully it won't come to that, though.
Maybe, does Lucy leave the kitchen ever, or does he charge in the corner?
I mean, you guys have never seen him anywhere but the kitchen.
He was upstairs before.
And upstairs, which is above the kitchen, so it counts.
In the pantry that's not a pantry.
Yeah, he thinks it's the pantry. That's part of the kitchen.
Right. Can I talk to Vika about trying to, like, booby trap the doors somehow? The doorways?
Or we could add locks.
Could I make the doors explode if the wrong person goes into them? Could I lock the door?
This is maybe the most Jila sentence that's ever been spoken.
Can I be honest with you guys about something?
Sure.
Yes, please.
They're not gonna, like, blow up your ship if you don't do anything. This is just flavor text. I regret bringing it up. You guys are way in the weeds with this. The story is not about getting these two people to coexist on a ship.
It is now.
I mean, I was trying to take it as a thing, like, we have this character who said we can't bring someone on the ship, so I was taking it
He
as,
was
like,
very explicit about it.
I mean, he said that he's willing to put up with it. He's just not going to be happy. But does not equate to he's going to start cutting the ship in half. It equates to he's going to be grumpy.
We love Lucy, okay?
I know, and I appreciate that. It's just, you know, when you guys were chasing a lead that was going nowhere, and I was just like, hey, just so you guys know, this doesn't have anything to do with chaos. Hey, just so you guys know, this doesn't have anything to do with chaos.
Yes, we know that, but we want to keep our NPC friends happy.
Real quick, can we have that be a thing for whenever people are, like, saying the wrong thing about us from now on? Like, it's like, are you trying to say this? Just so you know, this doesn't have anything to do with chaos.
Then narratively, Jila is going to
Booby trap.
talk with Vi about how to power enhanced locks or something.
No, you should have that scene where you go in saying, hey, we need to booby trap the door.
And then Vi's like, or we could lock them.
Yeah, I don't think that needs to be a scene. And by the way, Vi has just headed straight up to the bridge, and she's getting the ship ready to fly off of this planet.
Can Sully, before we take off, can Sully try to use the science center to try to figure out a better way to get through Atmo for this?
No, because you will do that whilst flying. Does that make sense? Like, you guys are gonna have to make rolls to get off the planet.
Okay,
that can be your roll while getting off the planet.
Okay, I didn't remember if we did that last time or just one of us got to roll a piloting check, and I'm like,
no, you guys were able to give advantages to this.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was hard to get onto the planet because usually ships don't go through atmosphere. They go like in garages that like gravity elevators.
Yep.
But they don't have that on this planet.
Right. So that'll just be your roll. Getting out of atmosphere will be part of that.
Yeah. And that's why Vi went straight up to the bridge, because she's like, it's going to be a bumpy ride. Yeah. So she's just getting everything ready.
All right. What are you guys doing?
Jila, would you like to, or would anyone in general, but I think you'd offer Jila, Jila, would you like for me to bandage up some of those wounds in the med bay, or?
Yes, that'd be preferable. They, space and stink.
Okay, so you can make a roll to do that. The way that works is you're doing surgery. So you roll sharp. Right now she has not been bandaged, so you just...
I got an 8. Oh, wait, with plus sharp. Sorry. I got a 10.
Okay, so she heals 2 damage and has 1 unbandaged.
Jila, I know that you operate under the assumption that scars are cool and men love scars, but there is such a thing as too many. So
Are you saying I have too many?
I'm saying I worry about you, and this would be trying to make a joke.
Oh, okay. Well, good. I mean, these ones are they have a cool story, don't they?
I mean...
It's like a little constellation, 1, 2, 3.
Wait, I was just wondering, when you come back from being slugged, do you keep your scars?
You would keep the scars that you got scanned with.
Okay.
So if you gained a bunch of scars in a mission and then died, you would lose those scars, but not all of them.
So Vi is going to do the same thing she did in the when we were coming into the planet. She's going to set up the engines so that they're able to get us through atmosphere.
Yeah, like fly with more finesse.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you guys piloting off, or does anyone else want to do anything?
Mal is going to head to the helm to prepare to leave the planet.
Sully's in the science center, gonna try to track Atmo to get us through that easier.
So you fire up the engines and start taking off, and I would say you've probably gotten about, we'll say 50 feet up in the air when you hear warning sirens going off, and literally from the planet you can hear alarm horns going off on the planet, and any scanners that you might have would indicate that one ship has just flown up from the surface of the planet and is beelining towards all of you.
You know, it occurs to me that Marilla might have something like a chip in her that would alert the planet.
I am not aware of any chip, but I can't say I know for sure.
Well, it seems like someone's after us for sure, and I'm guessing they don't like that we're taking you from this planet.
That seems likely, I guess.
Strap in, everyone. It's going to be even bumpier than we thought.
It sure is. Okay, so what is everyone doing?
So I rolled a 10 for
Finessing the engines?
Yeah, engine stuff. I think +1 to piloting, whatever tag you want to give that.
Yep, finessed engines.
All right.
I got a 9 on gunnery.
I got a 9 on. I was trying to add auto targeting.
Is this other ship in weapons range?
Yes.
Okay, then I am going to try to avoid damage at the helm.
Okay, and you can use finessed engines for that.
That makes it a 10. Having cool +3 is so good.
Would my status help Caitlin get to a 10? Like if I'm helping her with aiming?
Yeah, I think it could, yeah.
So then everyone has a 10 but me who has a 9.
Okay, cool. The ship flies towards you, peppering your ship with fire. It is a small little drone. It's really difficult to see, but fortunately you have your auto-targeting lasers, helped out by Sully, and you're able to focus in on it and destroy it. Your ship sustains 1 damage from the fire coming from the droid before you are able to blast it out of the air. As soon as you do, another one spawns from the planet and starts flying towards you.
Captain Malcolm Llewellyn, not to tell you how to fly the ship, but I think it might be advisable to get us the space out of here.
Yeah, I think I agree. And watch your space and language.
Jila, did I use that word right?
You did great, honey.
Can I do a scramble array so it makes it harder to target us, Cody?
Yes, you can.
I got a 12.
I got a 9 for guns again.
How long do we get to add the tags on?
Technically, I have to remove them with hard moves is the way that works out, but I might reconsider that.
So you'd have a 10 then, Caitlin.
Do I still have a +1 from somewhere?
Finessed engines right now, yeah.
Then that's a 10 to escape combat.
I rolled a 10 for engines again to punch it.
Okay, so we'll boost that by 1. Sorry, I just need a second to think. Okay, so you all boost the engines, and as Sully put it, you're scrambling stuff to try to make yourselves harder to target, which is going great. And you blast this last droid, and you're beginning to make your way out of combat. So right now you're not engaged with anything. But as soon as you do that, 2 more drones spawn from the surface of the planet and start flying towards your ship. What does everybody do?
Gonna continue to try to escape combat, trying to get us into phased antimatter, or get us out of atmosphere so we can get to phased antimatter space.
So I don't have the ship rolls up, but I can't continue to add points to finessed engines, right?
Yeah, once it gets to 2, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
I got 9 on guns, including the auto targeting.
I could try to up that auto targeting if we wanted.
So I'm trying to escape combat. So with my roll plus my cool plus finessed engines, I currently have a 17.
Good lord.
I rolled double 6.
Well, okay.
I'm going to try to up auto targeting, I think. That'll be a 10. So Jila, you now have a 10. So you're now going to +2 every time, Caitlin.
So Vi is going to since she can't do anything else to the engines, is gonna scramble up the ladder to the other gun that we have.
Okay.
And I rolled a 7 for that.
So I have a narrative question to ask all of you. This is tricky because the rules are written in a way that I now regret. Not honestly because of these stacking effects. That's not so much it, as more understanding what this combat is. And this is tricky because I don't want to spoil stuff. So sorry I'm making this hard on the edit, Mandy.
No, it's okay. Is it really more like a chase than combat?
No, it's not. I'm trying to think, imagining this scenario play out. I would imagine escaping combat would be you're in a firefight with a ship and losing, and you're trying to bail on the combat with one other ship that you are out flying. But that gets more tricky when you're in open space and you're not going someplace else. You're just in open space. So you're moving faster than them, maybe. I'm having trouble deciding the narrative of escaping from combat when there is a way to be successful in this combat without skipping it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but okay. Here's the thing. Like, from my perspective, we're going up against the Dreadnought at some point or other Chaos ships. The less damage we can take to us and our ships, the better we're going to be down the line. And escaping this combat feels appropriate.
Okay. No, that's...
I don't know how everyone else feels, but that's how I am seeing it.
The way that I'm kind of seeing it, or that I am approaching it, therefore Sully's approaching it, is that these drones are semi-infinite, that they're just going to keep spawning on us.
Yeah, and that's kind of something that was running through my head as well. And then also, we did just break someone out of an Imposition prison. We don't want to compound that by destroying a bunch of Imposition ships and making it worse. My thought is just trying to get out of here as fast as possible and avoid a conflict is better. That's where my head's at.
I mean, I imagine we still take some damage because there's 2 now.
It's not a matter of taking damage. I'm sorry, I'm like completely derailing things. Like, please understand, it's like for a good reason. That is just like telling you the reason is sort of a spoiler, but I also don't want to like kick you guys in the head. I'm sorry. I know this is frustrating. I'm trying to think of the right way to like run this. Not unfairly.
Here's the thing, like, I'm fine if you want to say, like, you can't escape from combat, I have reasons, and we can talk about it afterwards so that things aren't spoiled. I don't know how everyone else feels about that, but if that...
It sounds like the consensus is you guys want to escape from this combat. I am cool with that, and I don't want to, like, take that back as, like, that's what you guys are trying to do. Are you okay with there being a small consequence as a result of that you will have to deal with in the future?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. Back in. So all of you have done really well trying to boost your ship and get away from this. So you managed to put enough distance between yourselves and these attacking drones by like returning fire against them and fending them off that you are able to like power up your phased antimatter drive and blast off into space. So you guys are just kind of on your way. What's everyone doing?
I think we probably want to have a conversation with Marilla at some point.
And I want to call Camilla at some point as well.
Okay. You want to all do the conversation with Marilla first?
Sure.
Okay. So you all head down to the cargo bay where she is standing looking at the doorway to the kitchen, and she is just like throwing pennies into the kitchen.
You just had to cause trouble, didn't you?
I don't know what you mean. I think Lucy enjoys it.
Is Lucy saying anything from inside the kitchen?
You hear Lucy just like chopping in the kitchen, like almost like loudly ignoring the pennies getting thrown into his face.
So, Marilla, what exactly are you good at when it comes to getting information? Because that's the next step here is we're trying to get more information on this ship. And I think she hands over like a tablet with kind of loose schematics and information we know about the Black Dreadnought.
Ooh, quite a large vessel. Yes, well, my expertise are in getting places without getting caught. I was a pirate or a smuggler, maybe, in my times before incarceration. So if you need to get someplace where you are not welcome, I can get you there without being hindered.
And this is sheer curiosity. What's your connection with Lorelei?
Oh, well, the Outlaws have needed to get through Imposition space or into other people's space without being caught before, and I have served as a guide, of course, for a handsome reward.
Okay, so are you aware of anything about Chaos?
I have been incarcerated for some time. We have heard rumblings of another presence in the galaxy, but nothing beyond that.
I guess we'll just lay it out there. This Chaos Force seems hellbent on taking over the galaxy, and they have already pretty much taken over the Interstellar Council.
Not only that, but they are some kind of hive mind, it seems. So getting onto their ship, I think that, that's another layer of difficulty we're about to have to deal with.
Oh, are you planning on boarding the Black Dreadnought?
It depends on what your expertise suggests.
It kind of depends on what we can find out in our reconnaissance.
Well, we'll have to see the ship first, I suppose. Reconnaissance is definitely a strong suit for me. As I said, I can get you to the places you are not meant to be. So where are you headed?
We had one location, right? Like, we narrowed down the list of places to one most likely location.
Yeah, you sure did, which I actually have a name for, which I forgot to give you.
Are we heading straight there, or are we going to try to talk with other friends?
So here's what I thought we were doing. I thought we were going, getting reconnaissance, and just taking that information with us and leaving. And then we'll try to find the Black Dreadnought again with a force.
Okay.
And use that information somehow. That's where it's like very hand-wavy, where it depends on really what we find with this reconnaissance. I didn't imagine that we were doing reconnaissance and the attack at the same time.
No, I'm cool with that. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
So the location that you found is called the Lunar Belt of Mabos. It is a series of moons around a large planet that are all heavily populated and also very important for just like a lot of like basically gas mining, right? Like there's a large resource on that planet, unlike the planet that they're orbiting around, that is being like mined and cultivated so that all these moons support that. It is an extremely important sector in terms of resources, and one that is kind of near the edge of Imposition space, but also very well guarded by the Galactic Alliance.
So is it currently under Galactic Alliance?
Currently, it would be under Galactic Alliance control, yes.
Okay.
We tell her where we're headed.
Oh, quite a glorious spot, ripe for theft and acquisition, maybe. But a dangerous place to be for sure, but I can get you there. I have been there before. It requires a creative approach.
Well, that is Jila's specialty.
I must say, I do not oppose the idea of having a Galactic Alliance vessel as my payment. I, of course, prefer Imposition, but something more incognito might be useful for me.
Well, don't get your hopes up. You're going to get the ship that you get.
Well, now, that seems harsh. You don't take requests.
Vi is just having none of her. Vi was less hostile to Marvin's wife.
Well, yeah, I couldn't be that harsh to Marvin's wife. I didn't say we wouldn't take a request. What I'm saying is that a lot of it is going to depend on what we can get done.
I understand, of course.
Yeah, I guess let me put it this way. We're not going to attack a Galactic Alliance ship for the express purpose of taking it. If it so happens that one of those ships falls under our control, sure. But we have other avenues to explore as well of getting a ship.
As long as I get my payment, I do not care.
So what is your suggestion for getting into the lunar belt of Mabos?
I can provide you with a series of coordinates, a less than straight shot trip to there, that will make us appear to be routine traffic, you might say.
So she basically has like knowledge of like loopholes and dead zones and tracking where you can like kind of ping pong around to make it to here without getting seen by like scanners before you get there. So again, like you're basically flying through a war zone, and she knows like sensor dead zones and places where traffic is generally high that you could blend in. So that's kind of the information she's able to provide.
And like getting around checkpoints and stuff like that.
Right. Like she's just used to flying through those circumstances.
So she's more of a guide and less of a like teaching us a skill that we can learn to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's just like you need her to get to there. Yeah.
All right, I guess we head off that way then.
All right, so she heads up to the helm with Malcolm and just kind of like helps by plotting a course, and like the route is going to take significantly longer than usual because like generally with like a phased antimatter drive, it is different than what flying through space would actually be, where you're having to like deal with orbits and like gravity and like not like, because you're always like flying around something and you're just kind of shifting and trying to get your orbits to line up. This basically allows you to make a straight shot to somewhere else, but you're having to like avoid sensor web, so you're like, it's a much longer trek than usual, which means you're kind of stuck on this ship for about a week.
So normally when we're flying through phased antimatter space, we're like flying past planets and stuff, and now we're specifically avoiding all the systems, but that means we have to take the long way.
Right. So you're taking the long route around. This is kind of a moment, if there's anything you guys want to do RP-wise, welcome to it. If not, you can try to benefit your speed to get there if you would like. The positive effect this will have is it will basically change what you find when you get there.
Well, one thing I want to do is I want to call Homestead and talk to Camilla first.
Okay. You are on a call with Camilla.
Hey, Camilla, how's things going at Homestead?
Well, we're bored, and we're also kind of strange outsiders, so, I would say fine.
We're still on our way with this reconnaissance mission. I actually was wondering, did you and the Keepers have any extra ships that you can't make use of?
No, I mean, we could give you a ship if you desperately need one. We could, fly one out to you, I guess. Do you need the ship? Is your ship okay? I mean, you're calling me from...
our ship is fine, but our contact that we needed to make for doing this mission, their payment is a ship.
Ah, well, that is unfortunate. I guess steal one? Preferably from Chaos, I guess.
Yeah, that is one thing we're considering, but I figured I'd check out other avenues before we have to fight our way to getting a ship.
I mean, if you desperately need one, yeah, we could either buy one for you or just drag one out there and dump it off with you, but it's gonna be the worst one we have, because we need those to, attack.
Yeah, no, I understand. Okay, well, we'll keep that in mind if we run out of other options.
Mechanically, just so you know, you have X number of ships at your disposal. It's like a fixed number, so giving away one of those ships would reduce that number by 1, which is not bad. It just means you're basically doing less damage a turn with your fleet.
Okay. Would anything change if I also called Laura Lee with that request as well?
I mean, you could try, but...
Because that was my next thing, was call Camilla, try to get a ship from her, see what she has available. Then call the Outlaws as a whole, see what they have available.
You would have to spend money on it, right? So you could buy a ship on credit.
Did you have any leftover credits?
No, you'd be buying it on a loan, basically, but you're going to get credits for doing this mission. It's just ships are not cheap.
Yeah.
Doable, just pricey. And you would know that, right?
I wouldn't need to make that call then.
Yeah.
Would anyone like to be healed in the med bay?
Oh, yeah. I would as well. I would like to be healed.
That is a 10.
How much do I heal off of that?
I believe you get 2 off and a bandage.
Okay. I had 2, right, Cody?
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll keep my 10 right now.
Yeah. You're just a little banged up. You're not that bad.
I got a bandage on my arm.
Anyone else want to do anything else?
Sully will be doing vector cleanup on the course that Marilla charted.
Okay.
So I imagine she gives you us rough areas, and then Sully's doing the cleanup to make it the shortest route in those areas where it's you need to land about here, and she circles an area on the map, and Sully tracks the quickest path to connect that,
Yeah.
Yeah, and you found spots where she's yeah, go here, and then the next vector has this slowing down significantly, so you managed to speed up that kind of turn, that course correction.
That will be a 14.
Okay. Anyone else want to do anything?
I think Vi's probably still just at the holo table doing her usual...
Oh, just tracking and stuff?
Yeah, usual chaos tracking.
Are we able to fix the damage on the ship or no?
There isn't any damage on the ship. Oh, no, you cannot fix damage on the ship. No, you have to be back at base for that to reset.
Okay.
Vika, when you're looking at the holo table trying to track chaos, the unfortunate thing about where you're at right now is that you have limited contact with other people as you're making all these hops. So there's not a lot you can learn. It's almost it's gone quiet, but that means you're missing information. And you're keenly aware of the fact that all the information you had was pointing to this potentially being a very dangerous place to be. And the fact that you haven't heard a report of attack almost makes it more likely that there will be one, because it's so ripe for the picking. That's what you find out.
I have a skill called Know a Guy, I want to say.
Yeah, you do. That's a thing that you can always know a person to get information.
Yeah. Can I use that to speed our trip somehow?
If you can tell me a story where that makes sense, yes. but in my head, I don't see how it does. You know what I mean?
We need to fuel up at a certain point, and you know a guy who gives us like the premium grade fuel for cheap. So usually we just like do generic space crystals chucked in to the engine, spristles if you will. And now we have superior space crystals, so superior spristles. Spristles.
I quit this game, or it was a mistake. I'm done. I quit this podcast.
No, with crystal power.
Okay, Vinny, basically you need to make me you're flying the ship still, so fly the ship. You are getting a bonus 2. And this is one of those things where, like, it's not exactly breaking down in terms of, like, doing better than 10 is going to narratively make a difference. There's, like, a band here.
Okay, so you said I get plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really matter. That would be.
That's what I'm saying. It does. Like, the exact number matters. There's a wider band.
Well, I mean, it's over 10. But the exact number is 11, 13.
Okay. The week goes by fairly uneventfully. In between helping plot courses, mostly what Marilla is doing is vaguely trying to antagonize Lucy. But once you get closer, she starts spending more time up in the helm, kind of waiting. You can tell she's anxious for where you're about to be.
I guess here's a good question. Is she actually leading us where we're supposed to go?
Yeah, I mean, you know where you are in the galaxy. Like, she would have plotted the whole course. Like, she's not leading you to nowhere. So you all did a really good job, like, boosting this, getting better fuel, flying very well through all of these, like, complicated maneuvers, and you drop out around a large gas giant planet surrounded by many moons that are all very clearly populated. There's tons of ships flying around and a armada of Galactic Alliance vessels. This is the last place the Imposition would ever want to be attacking. And you see this place in relative peace. It, like, looks good right now. Like, it's very quiet.
Real quick, before anything happens, I want to activate our stealth, our cloaking device, like, just immediately, or even before we drop out of phased antimatter space.
Okay. So you do that. A few things happen at once. One, a Imposition ship drops out of phased anti-space pretty close to you guys. It's just one small vessel, but you can tell it's one that's built for combat. And, like, it doesn't make any moves. It's just kind of sitting there. Like, this is, like, not a threat. It's such a tiny force. And then a few minutes later, it's not exactly what you would see when you see phased antimatter open up into a system, right? And, like, a ship fly through. Instead, it is something more, like, twisted, and, like, a vortex opens up in space, and slowly cruising out of it, you see the Black Dreadnought pull into this system.
We hope you enjoyed this latest episode of Outlaws Wanted. Music for the show is from danosongs.com, audionautics.com, zapsplat.com, and the public domain. If you liked this show, you can check out more of our actual plays at the Wandering Gamer Network's website or Podbean, as well as interact with us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We also post Let's Plays on YouTube under the channel Wandering Gamer Network, and on Twitch we can be found at Wandering_Gamer_Network. You can also find us on YouTube under the channel Wandering Gamer Network, and on Twitch we can be found at Wandering_Gamer_Network. Now remember, it's not the outlaw that makes trouble. It's trouble that makes the outlaw.